Welcome back, John Morris Show on a Thursday. Thanks again to the Brazos Landing and Alliance Bank, Central Texas. Look who's with us on location. And look at this shot from Carlsbad, California. What are you doing blurring your background when you're out on the golf course? Come on, man.
I shouldn't blur the background. You're right, John.
But you are out there, it looks like right on the course, bright and early. Thanks for joining us.
I think this is number 3. It's a par 3. So they got an early start. I had forgot they were doing so on practice round. You just play with your group.
Okay.
So all 5 of them went off, or actually all 6 of them went off at 6:42.
Okay.
So bright and early, 8:42 your time. So yeah.
But that's the time they'll tee off tomorrow, right? First round?
Yeah, it's so I checked the updated tee times, and it said 6:52 for our first group.
Okay.
It's like 6:52 through maybe 7:26, somewhere around in there. So good early start to the day.
Absolutely. Jerry Hill with us with Baylor Women's Golf in Carlsbad, California. How's the weather? Everything nice in California?
Yeah, I'm never going to complain about this weather. I think it was, John, I think it was 75 when we flew in yesterday afternoon. And I will say we had a lot easier time than Jay Goebel and the team. I don't know if you had heard about that.
No, what had happened?
So, they were traveling Tuesday, and they got, they were supposed to fly out of Dallas. And I don't know if you noticed, but the van or whatever was still sitting there as we were leaving the Billy. And it's because they were getting rerouted to Austin to fly out of there. Oh. They get to Austin and they're having to wait on planes out of Dallas, and they're not flying. So they literally waited there all day.
Oh.
And I think this is right. Jay said they got here or to San Diego at like 2:30 a.m. Pacific time, but still 2:30 a.m. And he said his head hit the pillow at 4:30 a.m.
Oh my gosh.
So that was a day.
Yeah, exactly. That's tough. Well, rest day yesterday, thankfully, right? And then hopefully they caught up and they're out on the course now with the practice round. That's tough.
And they did play yesterday at Del Mar Country Club, which I think it's like maybe 30 minutes from here.
Okay.
And I guess maybe it's similar conditions and everything. So they got a round in yesterday, and then, like I said, they're doing their practice round today. And it's kind of cool, John. Like I said, they're all together, and so the NCAA allots you 18 minutes per hole.
Oh, really?
Which I need that much time usually, but they're a lot better golfers than me. But so they have time to chip and putt and stuff, take extra shots.
Wow!
But they have to stay in that time limit, 18 minutes per hole.
How about that? That's interesting. So it's not just going through and playing around straight through. You could work on some extra stuff at each hole.
Exactly. And you're working on different shots. You're working on, okay, if we're here, this is what we do, that kind of thing. So they're really, kind of working the course today. They're not playing around. They're not, playing by your score on each hole. They're literally practicing. They're, taking shots from different places, spots on the green. They put these little sticks up there where they can putt at. So they're trying from different spots and just seeing the way the green, way the ball rolls on the green, all those kinds of things. So getting a lot of work in today.
And that's really invaluable, isn't it? I mean, to be able to have that time on the course before you play the first round.
Absolutely, John. I mean, thankfully, Baylor does have a few players that have been on here, because that was one of the things Jay talked about, the other day was there's some players coming here this week that have never been on here. And the only time they'll be on it is today for the practice round. So they at least have some experience on it. Hadn't been great experience. They haven't done real well out here at La Costa, but, I think that experience will help them, though, in terms of, they've been out here, they've done it, and, he expects them to do better this time.
Wait a second. Are you piping in bird sounds, or is that real?
That is real bird sound.
Okay, just making sure.
John, you know me in technology.
I thought somebody might be around there helping pipe in the bird
Yeah,
sounds.
David Kay is doing bird sounds for
Yeah,
me.
that's great. All right, you mentioned the experience this team has, sixth straight NCAA national appearance, and is it 2 straight at La Costa or more than that? But
Yeah, this is the third in a row. So they've been to La Costa 2 times before that. So Celia Oma, who is making her 4th consecutive NCAA championship appearance, this will be her 3rd time on the course, and I think I saw where she's got like 8 rounds on this course, and I think that includes the practice rounds. But yeah, she has 8 rounds on the course, so she has that experience. Milena Castro was here last year. Bridget Bozar was here last year. So 3 of your 5 players in the lineup, they've all played this course. So yeah, it definitely helps. And then hopefully they can help the ones that are just getting in a practice round today.
Gotcha. And remind us all, what's the format there as you reach nationals?
Yeah. So, John, it's 30 teams here. I can't remember the number of individuals. I know it was, I guess it would be 6 because there were 1 from each of the regionals. So there's 6 individuals and the 30 teams. So that's what you start out with tomorrow when they do the first round. It cuts to low 15 after Sunday's round. So your whole goal or at the start of the week is to get to Monday. That's the big thing. And that's, they haven't been able to do that the last few times. So I know that's a big thing this week is to try to get to the low 15. They'll do the cut. So 15 teams go home after Sunday. So you really want to still be playing Monday. There's been a couple times in the last few years where Baylor's had an individual. So they do the top 15 teams, and then they also do 9 individuals. So Gerline Kaur in 22 made it, and then Baima Sima, I think it was 2 years ago, made it to Monday. So they at least had a player playing on Monday. But yeah, the goal is to get in that 15, play on Monday, and then John, after that it cuts to 8, and they start match play on Tuesday. And I was there in 15 in Florida when the team made it to the national championship match. And how cool is that? Like just watching it is really cool. Match play is just different. It's not, you're going head to head against a player, and it's different than pretty much every tournament you play in. But that's how they decide the national champion. So it starts with quarterfinals on Tuesday. And if I'm trying to remember this right, I think it's quarterfinals Tuesday morning and then semifinals Tuesday afternoon. And then you get to the 2, and it's a championship match on Wednesday. So it's a full week of golf, and hopefully you're there on that last day. That's the goal.
Very cool. Very cool. Jerry Hill with us from La Costa in California. Birds chirping in the background. Beautiful California morning. Thanks for stepping away. You're not talking too loud, are you? I mean, you're not.
I'm trying to stay quiet, John, because there's golfers in the background and stuff. So I'm trying to be a little quiet.
There we go.
No, there's actually nobody. There is a tee box to my right. So. But no, there's nobody out here right now, and I don't know where the Baylor team went. They've gone off, so I've got to find them after this. So,
all right, very good. Let's talk about some other things. You saw the announcement yesterday. We had Glenn Moore on with us yesterday about Hoot and Britt stepping away. Gosh, I mean, you understand the circumstances, but selfishly, you really hate to see that, don't you?
Yeah, and you'd appreciate this, John. I did send Hoot a text yesterday and said, I'm hoping this doesn't exclude you from our Baylor Gentlemen's Club lunches.
That's
and
right.
He said, absolutely not. And he will have some good stories to tell. So I'm excited about that. But yeah, that was, it was a little bit of a gut punch, but good for them though. I mean, to put family first. I mean, Britt obviously, wants to be around her kids more and see them through high school and stuff. So you understand that because family is important. And then same thing with Hoot, having to take care of his dad. So, both of those made sense. It's just, it's really tough losing 2, that have been in the family for that long, so 2 of the longest tenured, coaches, 2 of the longest tenured employees at Baylor Athletics. So, I guess on the positive note, John, I did move up the ladder now. So I think
That's
David Kay informed me that I'm now 15 and 7 on the non-coaching list.
interesting. Very good. Who was number 2 on that list?
Yes,
So that's a lot. And Britt had been here for 23 years.
Yeah.
So, and we wish Glenn the best as he, he hadn't had to fill vacancies very often on his staff. Really, just once, when Lum passed away.
Yeah, that's incredible. I guess maybe his first pitching coach.
That's
I
true.
can't even think who it was, but Britt came in the second or third year. So, but that's it. I mean, that's all the change that he's had. So incredible that you could have a complete turnover in 1 year when he's had very little change, like you said, in the whole time he's been here.
All right. How about baseball? They're out in the Pacific time zone where you are. That was a good win yesterday over BYU, and they get Kansas this afternoon.
Oh, my gosh. I wasn't watching it, John, but I was tracking it on my phone, and I saw, Lucas Davenport had gotten through 2 innings unscathed. They're up 5-0, and I'm thinking, oh, man, this is great. This is going to be an easy – and then here you go. They come right back. BYU, I think, took a 6-5 lead, and then it was just kind of back and forth. But, man, Ethan Calder did an unbelievable job. I know that's probably not ideal for you to bring, one of your other 2 starting pitchers in the 3rd inning, but man, he got through it great. And I think that's the way you have to play this kind of tournament. You have to win the day, and they won the day. Now it's what's next. I mean, obviously you have Zach Wallace available today to start today's game against Kansas. And then after that, I don't know, John, maybe bring Lucas Davenport at some point. Stephen Stahl, I know they were kind of bringing him back. So hopefully he's, can eat up some more innings and then bullpen, that's the way it's going to be. But again, I think they did what they had to do. They won that first game. You're still alive. You're one of 8 teams still left playing for a Big 12 championship. So I think that was the whole goal yesterday, was get through. And that was indicative of, like I said, when you bring in one of your other 2 starters in the 3rd inning, you're like, yeah, we got to win today. And that's what they did. They won, I think it was 13-9. So great game for them. Unbelievable job by, who was it? Travis Sanders, Tice Armstrong, and Brady Janusek. The numbers that they put up, and they've done it all year. But I mean, the numbers they put up yesterday were unreal.
Yeah. 15 hits on the day, and they got the win. So they play Kansas today. Final thought, track and field headed to the NCAA West region in Fayetteville next week. We're going to sit down with the 3, the 3 pole vaulters today. I think that'll be fun to do. Yeah, that'll be really fun. But good representation going to Fayetteville.
Yeah, and I think, John, this is actually Declaration Day. I mean, your thing is to be in the top 48 in your region in the West, but this is actual Declaration Day where you decide, okay, these ones are going. And one note on that is Logan Todorovich is 9th in the nation in the heptathlon, in the women's heptat. So she's already we haven't done the graphic yet, but she's already punched her ticket. She's in the NCAA championships, because the multi-events do it a little different. I think it's probably just not wanting to put that much on them. They don't go through the West prelims, but you have to be in the top 24 in the nation. And like I said, she's sitting 9th right now. So again, they'll make those declarations today. But she will be at the NCAA championships in Eugene, Oregon as a sophomore. So unbelievable job by her.
That is so great. That is great. Well, that'll be fun to watch. All right, man. Thanks for your time. And the bird sounds are just terrific. I don't know how you made that happen, but that's a really good addition. Would you mind in your golf setting there to just sign off from La Costa?
Absolutely. This is Jerry Hill from the number 3 tee box at La Costa Resort and Spa here in Carlsbad, California, signing off for the John Morris Show. This is Jerry Hill.
I don't know where the British accent comes from, but it's not bad. So very well done.
All right. I'll tell Charlotte Brooke that my British accent was pretty good.
Yeah, it's not as good as hers. I can
That's true. That's
hers
true.
is natural. Thanks, Jerry. Have a great
Thanks,
day.
John. Appreciate it.